Have a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, the Black Business School. And I wanted to chime in for a second to share some thoughts. Tonight, I was up late watching a movie with Mrs. Watkins, she's going to be Mrs. Watkins on July 11th. And as we were up watching this movie, I got a message from Jade Arundel. Jade Arundel from FlyNewbieandQueenTV.com sent me over a little note. She sent me over a little screenshot. And in this screenshot, which I'll actually post this on my Instagram. My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, go to The Real Boyce Watkins, where we have intelligent Black conversations. And, in this screenshot, Lizzo was being named Entertainer of the Year by the NAACP. She went to the NAACP Image Awards. And I don't know exactly what the purpose of the Image Awards is, but I assume that it reflects individuals, African Americans, who represent the community well. And Lizzo literally won Entertainer of the Year at the NAACP Image Awards. Now, I'm kind of done being mad about stuff like that because we know how white supremacy works. We know how racism works. We know how buffoonery works. So that's not going to go away. But what I want to do is give you just a little bit of a dissection of what I'm seeing, just kind of as an observer of life, observer of the world, and a man who's part of the Black community. So as we get started, number one, please hit the thumbs up button, share button, and subscribe button if you haven't done this yet. Also, if you believe that Black people should come first, put B1 in the chat. If you believe that Black people are number one, put B1 in the chat. If you believe that we matter more than anybody else, put B1 in the chat. If your community matters to you more than any other community, put B1 in the chat, because somebody got to put Black people first, because unfortunately many of our organizations and so-called leaders don't. I just saw a video today. The video happened to be made by a Republican guy, but it was actually showing Baltimore and how they were arguing before Elijah Cummings passed. They were arguing over how Baltimore, Trump says Baltimore's infested, and the Democrats and liberals start lying and saying, no, Baltimore's fine. There are no problems. Everything's great in Baltimore. And he went in there and he was talking to Black people, and they were like, hell yeah, it's infested. There's rats everywhere, and they won't pick up the garbage, and it's dirty and it's nasty. There's abandoned buildings everywhere, and so basically you're being played. You're constantly being played by the so-called Negro leadership. And I just really, honestly, I don't know about y'all, but I'm a little tired of it. I think it's ridiculous, So anyway, let me dig into this. Hit the thumbs up button and subscribe and all that good stuff. We're trying to grow some intelligent Black media so we can fight the buffoonery. The buffoonery is winning. The buffoonery is winning. So we need to catch up. So if you want to help us catch up, please at least hit the thumbs up button and share this video so that we can have some intelligent discussions out in this piece. All right. So here's the first thing. So Lizzo is apparently named Entertainer of the Year by the NAACP Image Awards. I don't know what their criteria is, but I think that's just utterly fascinating. Now, let me just give you a brief recent history of Lizzo. You guys saw maybe a month and a half ago where it made the news when I made a comment about Lizzo and the fact that I was a little bit concerned about the fact that we are promoting diabetes and heart disease and strokes and obesity in a community that's dying from diabetes, heart disease, strokes, and obesity. Does anybody else, give me a yes or no, think it's a little bit disturbing that we're mass promoting and celebrating diabetes, heart disease, strokes, and diabetes in a community where we're all dying from diabetes, strokes, heart disease, and diabetes? Does anybody else think that that's a little bit weird? Does anybody think that maybe somehow Black people have been trained to celebrate our own death and suffering? Does anybody else, give me a yes or no? Am I the only crazy person? Sometimes I think I'm born on the wrong planet. Clearly, I was born on a planet where I actually thought Black people deserved the chance to live. And so seriously, I mean, has anybody else noticed how weird it is that, rather than talking to people that are struggling with a sugar addiction, like I have a sugar addiction. My whole mouth was full of Twizzlers about 20 minutes ago. So we're all struggling with a sugar addiction. Does anybody think it's a little bit weird, though, that rather than helping people to get better and encouraging them to do better, we are actually cheering it on and saying, you go, girl, you go, girl. And then when they fall over from a stroke, we act like Jesus did it. Like we act like she didn't pray enough. She should have been going to church to let the pastor lay hands on her, when really she should have been putting her hands on that beef jerky and whatever she was eating. I'm not making fun of it. I promise you I'm not making fun of it, because I too am obese. I have been obese for a very long time. And the Black woman that loves me, God bless her, she tells me every time I put a Twizzler in my mouth, she says, Boyce, should you be eating that? Or every time I want to eat, I want to go for the cheeseburger instead of the salad, she says, Boyce, Boyce, you don't need another cheeseburger. She's the one that gets me out there running. So she lets me know clearly, talking about body positivity. She loves all of this, every inch of this sexual chocolate that I'm carrying around. She loves every inch of it, but she does not at any point make me believe somehow that it's okay and that it's a good thing when I'm overweight. Like, let's just be clear. She loves me for who I am, but she always encourages me to do better. So I think that we don't understand that. You see, as Black people, I don't think that we understand self-discipline. Like, we don't really value that. We really, we hang out with the liberals, and I'm not saying you should be a conservative. I'm not saying, well, better yet, I don't think you should be a Republican. A lot of Black people are already pretty conservative to begin with. We don't get on board with a lot of the liberal agenda when it comes to feminism, LGBT, all of that stuff. Like, we're not, where white people be kissing their dogs on the mouth and stuff. Like, most Black people are not into white liberal stuff. That's my observation as a person who studies Black people for a living. But I will say this, I think that we should understand that there's a balance between the two. There's a balance between me saying, I love you the way you are, I just want you to do better, versus me saying, you go, girl, keep putting that crack pipe in your mouth, keep smoking. If you got a loved one on dope, you don't encourage them to keep smoking more dope. You don't act like it's a good thing. So anyway, somebody said there's a misspelling in the typo of the video, or there's a typo in the video title. Well, I hope you can spell it right. I hope you can. We'll fix it later. We ain't worried about that. We ain't worried about typos and all that stuff. We're actually talking about a more important topic than typos right now. And let me see here. I don't see a typo here, so maybe it's somewhere else, but it doesn't matter. We'll talk about that later. So let me keep going. So here's why I'm talking about the Lizzo thing. We had the blow up a month and a half ago, where they kind of did with me the same way they kind of did the Snoop Dogg Gayle King narrative. You see, the Black man doesn't really have a voice in America. The Black man isn't really listened to in America unless he's maybe a rapper or an athlete, right? Black scholars don't exist. We just don't really exist. A couple of us do, but most of us don't. And so when I spoke on the Lizzo thing, I knew what they were going to do, what they always do. They were going to do with me what they did with Snoop Dogg. What they did with me and what they did with Snoop was they shifted the narrative into, oh, how these toxic Black men are. These Black men are garbage. These Black men hate Black women. These Black men, they're just worthless. These Black men, all they want to do is attack Black women. I knew they were going to do that, and that's what they did. That's why I spoke so regularly, so that the people that really wanted to know the truth could come to my channel, where I have 700,000 subscribers on a couple of different channels where you can hear what I have to say from my mouth. You're not going to hear what the white media says about me, because let's be clear, the white media will always misinterpret the Black man unless he's Billy Porter wearing a dress. The white media will always misinterpret the Black man, especially if he's a heterosexual masculine Black male, because Black male masculinity is seen as a bad thing. It's always been seen as a threat. This is nothing new. This was true when they murdered Emmett Till. This was true when they lynched your great-great-great-grandfather. This was true back when we got off of slave ships. So ain't nothing really changed in that category. So I'm okay with that. I can take that. But what I wanted to do was make sure that there was documentation. This is my point. I wanted to make sure there was documentation. I wanted to be the voice in the woods that reached out to all the Black folks that got common sense. I tell you guys, this platform is a platform for intelligent Black people, but really it's a platform for Black people with some damn common sense. That's what, if Black folks that got common sense, they're the ones I want to talk to. And the ones who have common sense could understand, one, that it wasn't cool. It's never cool to somehow claim body positivity means walking out with your jelly rolls and talking about how you love being that fat bitch. I don't know if you ever heard her talk about that. Like, I love being the fat. Like, seriously, no. Big Mama got her foot cut off from diabetes because she spent her years as the fat lady, right? And then the second thing was this increased serious interest. I'm telling you, when you let these white folks control your media, they kind of off a little bit. They really they got hoology at a high level. They celebrate Black female Mammy Jezebel stereotypes. They celebrate hoology. Like they'll elevate a stripper over a conscious Black woman any day of the week. Like Erykah Badu or not Erykah Badu, not Erykah Badu. I was thinking about India Arie probably could have sold about 10 million more records if she had got naked a few more times in her videos. Like if she said, I am your average girl in your video, right? And to spread her legs out and said, I really want to be your hoe, right? India Arie would have sold another 10 million records because they celebrate that hoeology. They celebrate the degradation of the black woman in such a way that they are accustomed to the Mammy Jezebel stereotype. So Lizzo's pretty successful. She's talented. No doubt she's talented. She girl can sing her ass off. And I mean, my God, Alicia can play the flute. Y'all don't know, but my wife, she can play the flute, but she can't twerk and play the flute at the same time. Now I've never asked her to twerk and play the flute. I'm sure she'd look good doing it because she got those sexy black woman curves. But twerking and playing the flute and singing it good as hell, impressive. My God, so impressive. Very talented lady. But here's the thing. Here's why Lizzo, being talented is not enough to be successful. There's plenty of talented black people that you'll never hear about. Lizzo's successful because she's a gimmick. Lizzo is successful because she is a walking minstrel show. Lizzo is successful because they've positioned her as the clown. Lizzo's successful because she's the big chubby girl with the jelly rolls who says I love being fat, and also she was on TikTok. Did anybody see this recently? And this is why the NAACP needs to be challenged on this. Did anybody see this week, last week and a half? Right before Lizzo gets an NAACP Image Award, Lizzo was on TikTok, an app for children, on her knees, preparing to suck a man's you know what. Did anybody see that? Give me a yes or no if you saw this. If you don't believe me, go look it up. Go Google search like Lizzo on her knees or Lizzo on her knees on TikTok, and you'll see the video. Lizzo is out there. Lizzo's on her knees, ready to put in work on a man's you know what. And this is grown folk stuff. I'm not condemning that. Like if you're participating in that kind of stuff, like that's good for you. Good for you. It's okay. Like it's grown folk. That's okay for grown folks, right? Like seriously, I hope some of y'all get some tonight. But yes or no, do you think that should be done on an app that attracts so many children? Does anybody? I mean, how many of you got kids on TikTok? How many of you got children that use TikTok? How many of you have children that use TikTok and you don't even know how to use it yourself? I'm gonna raise my hand first because I'm one of the first, because our kids use TikTok all the time. They do little cute little videos on TikTok that I don't know how to do. How many of you got kids on TikTok and you don't use TikTok yourself? Any of y'all got kids, children that use TikTok? Lots of children use TikTok. And Lizzo, who just got an NAACP Image Award for Entertainer of the Year, was on TikTok, an app for children, ready to do you know what to a man. That's predatory behavior. Like that's like I mean, think about this. What if Bill Cosby was on an app for children and trying to pull out his you know what in front of kids? How would they see it different then? Lizzo went to a Lakers game. Remember, Lizzo went to a Lakers game with a booty out. Children sit in those seats, and her booty was out. Anybody remember that? Give me a yes or no. I'm just trying to help you guys sort of refresh your memory in case you get carried away, because we get excited when Negroes get awards. Like black people get awards, and we think that means everything's okay. You know, and that gets to my next point. The reason the NAACP gave Lizzo that award is because unfortunately we live in a country where we believe that white is right. We believe that white is always right. So if white people love you, then we love you. And that's why you're losing, because you don't have your own, you can't form your own opinions. As a community, you're incapable of forming your own perspective. You look for cues from your oppressor to tell you who to celebrate and who not to celebrate. If white folks weren't celebrating Lizzo, black people wouldn't be celebrating Lizzo. If white folks weren't celebrating Lizzo, the NAACP probably wouldn't have even been checking for Lizzo. Seriously. I did a survey when I saw what was going on. I think it was after Lizzo was at the LA Lakers game and wear a booty out. And I just did a survey amongst the black people who follow this platform. And again, you're talking about a few 100,000 people. You're not talking about a small sample. About 80 to 90% of the black community in our space felt that Lizzo misrepresents the image of the black woman. You know, I mean, again, think about this. You get mad because they think they hypersexualize black women, or they think black women, are a bunch of thoughts. But then why would you turn around and celebrate that imagery in the media to represent your community. Seriously, it doesn't make any sense. You complain about little black girls being hypersexualized at an early age, right? Going into those R. Kelly situations. You complain about that, but then you're celebrating artists that are introducing your little girls to inappropriate adult behavior at the age of 7. You got 7-year-olds who were on TikTok when Lizzo was teaching them how to, you know what. Another thing Lizzo was doing this past week. She was on Instagram. This is less than a week ago. She was on Instagram in a thong twerking. Did anybody see that? Give me a yes or no if you saw that. Lizzo, again, recipient of this year's NAACP Image Award for Entertainer of the Year, was on Instagram, damn near completely naked and twerking, like booty out and everything. Again, this is not anti-twerking. I'm not like twerk. I'm a grown man. Like, if you're a grown man, men like booties and stuff. Nothing's wrong with booties, but not in front of children. Seriously. Is that really how we want to present ourselves to the world? Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button right now. Please hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to support the platform and help us grow, we could use your help. You can go to intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. This is the platform for intelligent black people. Also, I have books that I recommend and books that I've written. So if you'd like to take a look at some of my books and Dr. Claude Anderson books, you can go to drboycebooks.com. That's drboycebooks.com. I want to mention that that's how we raise money in order to move forward and to push forward with our agenda. They have their agenda. I have my agenda, and we have our agenda. Right. I want us as a community to have an agenda that says that we're at least going to look at some of these things with some common sense instead of just getting excited because a Negro's on TV. So I'm making this video not because I think anything's going to change. The NAACP is going to continue to sell out black people. We know this. We know that white folks are going to continue to act white. We know racism is never going to go away. We know that they're always going to take the most ignorant of you. They're going to take the most ridiculous of you, the most embarrassing of you, and they're going to make them the most famous black people in America. Like, they're not going to, hip hop as an industry, which is run by people who are not black. They're not going to celebrate the most intelligent artists. They're going to elevate guys like the Migos who behave like children, celebrate getting high and drunk all the time. They don't want a manhood-based image of the black man or a masculine image of the black man. They want a beta male, feminized, lost, drug-addicted image of the black man, because that's what they know. That's what they like to see. That's what they believe that you are. When they show you what they like about you, they're showing you how they view you. They're really telling you what they think about you when they pick Lizzo above all the other beautiful, talented black women who are not going to a Lakers game with their booty out, who are not sucking a man's you-know-what on TikTok, who are not twerking on Instagram just to get attention. Like the poor girl. And this is not anti-Lizzo. I want to make that 100% clear. I know media writes whatever narrative they're going to write. It was really funny when I mentioned that thing about Lizzo a month and a half ago. I had probably 300 or 400 media outlets around the world that mentioned what I said about Lizzo, but not one of them interviewed me or talk to me to say, well, what did you really mean? Or can you elaborate? Or can you explain that? And it's okay. I expect, I've been in media. I've done thousands of interviews. Like, I've been in media for many, many years. So I understand how white racist media works. Their goal is to take a black man, especially a black man who's disrupting the apple cart, and reduce you to a one-dimensional caricature. I watched them do that to Minister Louis Farrakhan. They made the mistake with Donahue back in the 80s of bringing Farrakhan on Donahue to give him a national platform to explain his point of view. And do you know what he did? He tore those people to pieces. He broke them down because the minister is smarter than all those people. So after that, they banned him from TV. They were like, we are not going to bring this guy on. We're going to interpret who he is. We're not going to let him interpret who he is, because people might hear him and be convinced and persuaded by what he has to say. So the same thing is true here. Like, I understand why they didn't want to hear my point of view, which is why I give you guys my point of view, because I really only care what you guys think. I kind of know what white media is going to do. They celebrate the most ratchet. Like, I'll give you another interesting example. Did you hear Steven Spielberg's daughter, who looks like she's black? She looked like she got some melanin. I don't know if she's adopted or if he dipped in the chocolate or what, but his daughter, who looks very melanated, basically said she wants to be an adult film star. Like she's going to start getting naked on on the computer and doing like some nasty stuff. Like, is she black? Yeah, she's black. Yeah, y'all saw that, right? Like you got, and she was abused, and she talks about the terrible things she went through. And I'm sitting there saying, like, what did your parents do to you, and what did your parents expose you to? Like, how is it, and why are your parents cheering this on? Like, I'm not saying that, I'm not making fun of them. I'm not saying they're bad parents. I don't even know their family, so I'm not going to speak on it too much. But I am kind of looking at it like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand that. Let me just say that I just don't understand that. Like, I'm not saying you should love your child no matter what, but I don't understand the idea of saying of your daughter coming and saying that she wants this to take this career path, and then you saying that's okay, baby, we cheer you on no matter what you do. I don't really know if that's the right response. In fact, does anybody remember a lady by the name of Montana Fishburne? Anybody know about Montana Fishburne, Larry Fishburne's daughter? Lawrence Fishburne's daughter. Lawrence is on a Blackish, excellent actor. Anybody saw what happened to poor Montana Fishburne, who somehow in LA, I think they make you forget that you're black. And she forgot that she was black, and because she was trying to do the Kim Kardashian pathway to success. She was trying to become the next Kardashian, and instead she just became a porn star. It was very sad. And years later, that poor girl was basically saying that she regrets everything that she did. And ain't no telling what happened to her when she went into that industry. Ain't no telling. I'm not, again, I'm not judging. This is not a judgmental statement in the sense of me saying I'm going to condemn people for their personal choices. You can choose to do whatever you want to do. As long as you ain't making me do it, I'm okay with that. But this is really a matter of saying, going back to common sense. I'm not, I'm not trying to be intelligent. I'm just trying to have some common damn sense. So anyway, so here's what I will say about the NAACP making Lizzo Entertainer of the Year. NAACP is supposed to stand for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Maybe they should be the NAACP, the National Association for the Enslavement of Colored People, because them choosing Lizzo reminds me of Donald Sterling. Remember when Donald Sterling, the Clippers owner, got caught being racist? He was the owner of the Clippers, and he hated black people. Anybody remember Donald Sterling? Give me a yes or no if you remember Donald Sterling. Does anybody remember Donald Sterling and that whole incident? Well, Donald Sterling, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but right before Sterling got busted, he'd received many commendations from the NAACP. Now, this was just the LA chapter now, so maybe this wasn't a nationwide thing, but the NAACP had also recognized him on many, many occasions, even though this man was a blatant, straight up racist. So, I think that unfortunately, you have to understand that your organization has been pretty much compromised. I'm not saying the NAACP can't do good work somewhere, but I think that this whole maybe it's the celebrity culture. Maybe they want to be relevant with these celebrity award shows, but it really makes them look kind of ridiculous because there are. And I was really sad because I saw a picture of Lizzo with Angela Bassett, and Angela was trying to be diplomatic and everything else. And I don't know how Angela feels about being compared to a Lizzo, but I don't even put those two in the same category. I think that there's about 1,000 things Lizzo has done that I couldn't imagine Angela Bassett doing in public in a million years. And I really think that we have to kind of, it doesn't mean that we have to hate people. Maybe she needs to counsel Lizzo. Maybe she needs to mentor her and kind of talk her into, doing a little bit better for herself. But my gosh, when you're just cheering anything on just because white people like it, that really just speaks to why you're not moving forward as a community. That speaks to why educational excellence is not one of the tenets of being black in America. That speaks to why you're moving backward economically. That speaks to why you're not seen in a positive light by the rest of the world. That speaks to why other communities just don't respect you, because you spend your life falling right behind white folks, trying to be like them, and you spend your time celebrating what they tell you to celebrate. So they can literally take a black person who murdered 18 babies, and if they give that person a lot of money and make them famous, millions of black people will say, oh, that's black excellence, y'all. That's black success, y'all. That's black success. Like they can give a Negro an award and make him a leader in the Black community just like that. And they've been creating your leaders since the beginning of time. They did this during the Civil Rights Movement. I don't know if y'all know, but back in the 60s when riots started happening and people started really stepping up and saying, okay, this is not going to work. You know, as a community, we demand better. We're tired of waiting on these leaders to do certain things. Well, what they did was they engaged in an orchestrated campaign to put money and power and a platform behind specific Black people to basically put the movement back under control. So they still do that. They still control you through the images that they put in front of you in media. And so I encourage you just to pay attention to that. Lizzo's success is not an accident. Lizzo, you know, Bobby, was it not Bobby? I was gonna say Bobby Shmurda. Sorry, he's a rapper in prison. Surprise, surprise. Cardi B's probably gonna be the next one. I hate saying it, but I don't want to even put it out there like that. But they're probably looking to get her on a RICO charge. That's another thing. They make Black people, they make you do dumb stuff because you're clout chasing or trying to be famous or whatever. So Cardi B, unfortunately, will probably get busted on a RICO situation similar to Tekashi 6ix9ine, similar to Bobby Shmurda, because they know that hip hop makes, unfortunately, a strand of hip hop makes Black people really stupid. So it makes you do dumb things like kill somebody and then go rap about it. Right. And then you put it on a record and then they're like following you around and they know if they go to the studio, they're going to catch you with weed and guns or whatever. They know if they go catch you at your concert, they're going to catch certain things happening. So they pretty much are like, we want to get a big fish. So you become the easy fish to catch. Right. So basically, Black people are not really in particular, I think, because of what the media does to us and what the educational system does to us. It makes us unintelligent and unstrategic. And we also lack vision when it comes to shaping the true trajectory of what we want our community to be. And those Black folks who come along and actually speak something that actually makes sense, that speaks a message of empowerment, that speak a message of intelligence, are labeled as being too radical because you're actually asking Black people to have some self-discipline in order to move forward as a community. So that's it. So I enjoy being the radical Negro. I enjoy being the outcast. I'm okay with that. I just want to tell you guys what I'm seeing, and I'm gonna break it down for what it is. So last point, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button right now. Hit the share and subscribe button. Also, a couple of things you should be updated on. One is the students at Syracuse University, if you're watching this video on the day it's recorded on February 22nd. The students at Syracuse University have given the university till midnight to meet their demands, that the chancellor resign. I'm going to follow up on that. You guys know I used to teach at Syracuse University for 13 years. And of course, you know, is the way I am, ain't no way they're going to keep somebody like me around for too long. But I was there long enough to get to know the school and to know the issues there. So I support those students. The hashtag they're using is not again SU. So show some solidarity for your brothers and sisters that are in the middle of a battle. Not again SU. Now, then we got to talk to them about why they're giving $70,000 a year to a bunch of white people who hate their guts. That is, again, common sense. Like, that's not really, I don't know if that aligns with common sense, but, you know, it is what it is. We can't be perfect. Second thing, my brother out in Albert Wilson, who was got 12 years in prison because a white girl basically said that he raped her, but there's no evidence. He also never penetrated her, never had sex with her. There was no DNA from him anywhere near her vaginal area. So not only did he not assault her, but he didn't even have sex with her. And he said that she got mad because she wanted to sleep with him and he didn't want to sleep with her. They were alone together for 5 minutes. Somehow the jury gave him 12 years in prison. Well, thank God he's getting a hearing where he might get a new trial. So that hashtag is Free Albert Wilson. So look up the hashtag Free Albert Wilson and please use the hashtag. I'm asking you guys to get involved because if we work together on these things, I think we can solve some of these problems. But y'all can't sit here and just be spectators. I don't want no spectators on this platform. Just do something. Everybody got a Facebook page, a Twitter, a YouTube, a Instagram. Go do something, man. Just do something. Participate. Even if you got to be a Facebook revolutionary, that's better than sitting around doing nothing. Don't be a spectator. Be a participant on some level, no matter what that may be. So anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Also, if you want a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, go to drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. And the hashtag is Free Albert Wilson. So I'm praying for that brother, and I hope that everything works out for him. So, and I'll keep you posted. I'm talking to one of his best friends. And once I hear back from him, I'll let you guys know what I hear. So take care, guys. Love you. See you soon. Have a great day. Peace.